Afterlife, Season 1, to great effect. How are ya? I hope you're bearing up with all this shit. It's not even all this shit, is it? It's all the uncertainty. That's what really gets me down. Maybe I don't know, maybe I've got some sort of OCD, but even in normal times, if I've planned everything, if something goes wrong or someone says, oh, I can't, I'll go, cancel it. Cancel it all. I'm never doing anything ever again. If I book a flight, right, and they go, oh, it's an hour delayed, right, never, yeah, you're never going to work again. Just everything's up in the air. You can't look forward to anything. I can't put gigs in. I finished my tour just in the nick of time. That would have been terrible to cancel those again after postponing them all. But yeah, we just don't know what's happening. All the pressure for Christmas. Do you know the worst thing is as well? Apart from the pandemic and the devastation and the deaths and the strain on the health service and people losing their livelihoods and that, the worst thing is the fucking in charge do what they want. And you know what, I can you know, I see all these people saying all the parties they were having and what all the stuff they were doing, and people saying, you know, that was the day I couldn't see my mum in hospital, or I couldn't go to my dad's funeral. And because the people in charge, the posh, privileged people in charge, were acting like fucking Charlie Sheen. I mean, really fucking rubbing salt in the wound. And as I say, I don't get political, but they're all shit. When are we going to stop taking went to Eton as a qualification to run the country? I mean, fucking hell. So that's why I'm doing this as well, because I've noticed all around, you know, there's a lot of annoyance and frustration, totally justified as well, misinformation, anger, but I think the next pandemic is going to be like anxiety and depression, you know. God knows how it affects like teenagers who have had their, you know, some of the best years of their life sort of taken away. And college, I didn't go to college to study. You know what I mean? 3 years living at home, doing things on Zoom. That's not my idea. That's not my idea of a college experience. So, as I say, I can't complain. I'm definitely in a privileged position, but I do notice. I have noticed that it's getting a lot of people down. So, and this you know helps me. Like, you know, when you can't do stuff, you think, well, I've got to do something. We're built like that. We've got to do something. You know, it's So this helped me doing this. Just, you know, talking bollocks, answering questions from cats and dogs. Yeah, my world tour was postponed for a year, but I did talk to a lot of cats and dogs. Yeah, okay. Well, I hope you're bearing up, and here's some questions. Keena, what are you watching over the Christmas break? Any recommendations? Thanks, Keena. Well, I don't think I've watched terrestrial TV or anything in English for about 2 years. I just go through, you know, Netflix, Walter Presents, Amazon, Hulu, iTunes. You know, I just find the very best sort of dramas from around the world. And so I'm spoilt now. Like, I watch things now, and like a couple of years ago I watched something, I go, that was great, and now I watch it and go, that's not great, because I've seen what great is, you know. So we probably watch less telly. There's no flicking round. We know, we look for something and we watch it. And I don't know what to recommend. I don't know what's on telly over Christmas. I don't think there is anything on fucking telly over Christmas, is there? I mean, it's not like it was Grumpy Old Man. No Morecambe and Wise or... But you know what I mean? I don't... So, watch 4 Blocks, Gomorrah, The Bridge, if you haven't seen it. All in their own language, never dubbed, always with subtitles. Caliphate, When the Dust Settles. What else is there? Go back and watch classics if you haven't watched them. Sopranos, The Wire. Vikings. If you want a bit of escapism. Curb Enthusiasm. Right. Ollie Afterlife. What's the worst thing you could get Jane for Christmas? And what's the worst thing she could get you? First thing I thought of that she'd get me would be a novel. Just the idea of like, I've got to read a novel. Just like War and Peace. Fucking hell. Homework. That's the thing, those gifts that, I think we've talked about this, when someone gets you a gift and it's like, well, that's like a job now. Like, 10 lessons potholing. Fuck off. I'm not going to go potholing. People die down there. There's spiders. Why am I doing that? Why am I doing something fucking dangerous? Get me a crate of wine. You can't go wrong with that. All my family know that. My family get me booze and black t-shirts and pants. Spot on. It's exactly right. That's what... Nothing wrong with that. What's the worst thing I get Jane? Tickets to... I don't know if this exists, but this would be this would be Jane's worst nightmare. Tickets to audience participation improv comedy. That would be like... that would... Yeah. Last year, I got a bell that I ding. In the bed. It dings down here. Half joke, but it's useful. Sue, do you miss being a DJ? Yeah, I do. This is sort of like that. That's why I do this, really. Play a tune, have a chat. Would you ever do another radio show or podcast where you talk about music and play your favourite tracks? Yeah, I'd love to. I had an idea that I could do a show on Spotify where I could just mention songs. They've all got them. They've got all the songs. Mention it. Play the song. So it'd be like... And I just add to that. And so soon you'd have Ricky Gervais' playlist of me talking and doing shit like this between them, but 1,000 songs. Then I never got round to pitching it. So if anyone's watching from Spotify, I'll do that. And be good, wouldn't it? Around the world, there if you want it. I've got impeccable music taste. A little story about it. A little joke here and there. A little bit of advice. Not too much. You could skip that as well. You could have it skip if you didn't like it. But the music, honestly, you'd never look back. If I gave you my top 1,000 songs, it would change your life. Julia, does anything about Christmas really annoy you? Well, something about everything really annoys me. Something... I could be in my element. I could be sitting on a deserted beach, right, watching the sunset, right, little crabs running around, right, drinking pina colada from a coconut, and I think this is amazing. And then some cunt would come and sit too near me sniffing, ruin it. So, yeah. So I hate the pressure. I always hate the pressure of that thing at Christmas. Like, I always worry that people put too much onus on Christmas. Like, it has to be perfect. And then when it isn't, it ruins their year. I think that about people going on holiday, like families going on holiday and arguing because they put too much pressure on how important this 1 week is. You hear the thing like, oh, yeah. Same as weddings. People spend like a year's wages on a wedding. Just because they think they should. Don't worry about it. It's just a day. Christmas is lovely, but don't worry about it. It's just a day. Grinch. Grinch, but not green, red and puffy. Nothing about Christmas really annoys me, really. Sometimes I want it over so I can get back to normal, but there isn't any normal now. So, I mean, it really is just another day of the year, isn't it? Christmas at the moment. But yeah, usually you do Christmas, think, oh, can't wait to get back to work. And I hope there's no kids. I hope there's no kids watching because I've said the C word as well. I apologise. People are eating their tea. Fucking slagging off the government, Christmas, just life in general. Welsh Felix, what do you want for Christmas? Besides a working jetpack? Yeah, still number one. Still number one. Just off. Whenever I say to Jane, oh, there's a new drone you can sit in, right? It's £1 million, but she just goes dead immediately. Just like she'd find me wrapped round a pylon. He died. When did he get this? She'd go, this morning. He's dead. Yeah, I know. I knew he would be. I told him. I said, I knew when he was going to say he's going to spend £1 million on it. I said that he'd be dead by this afternoon, and there he is, hanging. That's number one. The jetpack. Peace and quiet. More and more. Peace and quiet. Just want peace and quiet. That's what I just want. Peace and quiet. I mean, to the extent that I don't know. I just want. I want to know what I'm doing. When I know I've got a night in, or I know everything that's happening, right? I know when I've got to work and when I've got to relax. And then if I've got, oh great, like Netflix, I've got a night off, a bottle of wine, Netflix, this. Someone calls and says, oh, we're in town, do you want to do dinner? Oh, fucking hell. I wish I was dead. Only death can get me out of this. I don't want anything really, because peace and quiet, yeah, peace and quiet. Everyone to be happy, everyone to have a good Christmas. More and more now, you worry like other people's misery spoils it for you. That's an age thing, isn't it? When you can be happy and then you can see one thing like like a terrible fucking story on the news or a bit of animal cruelty, it just ruins your fucking day, doesn't it? You think, oh, I can't enjoy myself now because I've got to sort that out. I've got to save that dog. That's why I do everything. Peace and quiet. I want it right. If I do that, I can have peace and quiet. Gunner, what one thing would you wish Santa to bring that you could not have as a kid? Train set, bike, BB gun. Yeah, I don't think I did have a train set. I couldn't really afford those big ones. I might have had a pathetic one, but never really had a bike apart from a tiny one. When I could ride a real bike, I couldn't afford I got a second-hand one once when I was about 14. Bought it for £2 off someone. They'd nicked it. I'm pretty sure they'd nicked it. No brakes, right? So I always planned that if ever like a car was in front of me, that I'd go onto the pavement. Right? I'd planned that, right? Because I was 14, just mental, you know, don't care about fucking brakes. And it happened with a bus, right? I was bombing along, and this bus overtook me and stopped at a stop. And I thought, oh, do your plan, go onto the pavement. And I went onto the pavement, and I hit it, and I just went fucking flying. It wasn't a good plan. You should have brakes on a bike. That's my advice. You live and learn, don't you? Always have brakes. Always have brakes, kids. And a helmet. No one had helmets then either. Always have a helmet. Always have brakes. Always have a helmet. Don't go for that plan that I had. Didn't work. What would I want? BB gun. Did I have I don't think I had a. I had spud guns and things like that. I wouldn't have been allowed an air pistol. Not in a million years. When I was a kid. I told my best friend was Subbuteo. I love that now. Subbuteo's a great game. Is it though? As I've played it in adult, it's good. It still is good. It is good. I love that gunner. Subbuteo. I should buy shares in Subbuteo, shouldn't I? I should before I say all these things, or I get like 50 grand for saying it, like Kardashians do. I do it all for free. I've been a mug. Vampire squirrel. If you ever end up being tortured, why would you start a question with that? If you ever end up being tortured, what phobia do you have that would make you spill every bean? I've only got one phobia, spiders. But being tortured's bad already, isn't it? So I'm being tortured. I've got electrodes on my ghoulies. They're pouring fucking water on my face with a towel. Punching me, right? And then it wouldn't get to the spider. It wouldn't. That's that. I've got a phobia of pain. I've got a rational fear of pain. So, yeah. Imagine right, being caught, right, as a spy or something, right? And they tied you to a chair, and he comes in like that. And I go, is that a fucking spider? They go, yeah. I go, right, I'll tell you, the secrets, I'll tell you the secrets. Just put that outside, and I will tell you everything I know. I wouldn't, I'd crumble straight a fucking way. Tren Bren, in your amazing writing, thank you. Are you aware of your viewers' expectations, or does your writing dictate and lead? Yeah, the writing I never second guess an audience. I never worry about what they might think. I try and be interesting, and you know, you use all your all the things you've learned. It all goes in. You sort of do it intuitively, and then you structure it to be as good as you can. I've only done one thing where I was aware that I even felt a duty, and that was, if I tell you, would it be a spoiler alert? So right, when I first did the first series of Afterlife, loads of people came up to me more than ever before and said that they loved Afterlife and that they'd lost someone, you know, and you realise that everyone's grieving, and and it was really lovely that it touched on that. Then like a few times I've talked to people who might be therapists, or they work in crisis centres and stuff, and they said that sometimes they use afterlife for people who might be depressed or grieving or suicidal, and they said it was a good thing and inspirational and everything. And one of them said, "Oh, please don't let Tony kill himself." So I took that on board because I felt a responsibility, and I don't usually, but that sort of got to me. So I did worry about viewer expectations about that one thing, and in general, I don't do I don't do things that I think are terribly irresponsible or undermine the moral fabric of society, but I do deal in taboo subjects, and I do deal dark areas, and that's not the same, I don't think. So I hope that answers your question. Khalida, what 5 things in your life bring you excitement, joy, and warm your heart when you're feeling a bit gloomy? Did you use these activities to get through the doldrums of the last 2 COVID-rife years? That's interesting. Lots of things, really. I don't know how to categorise them. So the first thing that sprung to mind was dogs, and dogs got me through this pandemic. If you had to social distance from dogs, I'd have been in trouble. I go for a walk every day. I talk about this in my Supernatural. I go for a walk every day. I know hundreds of dogs by name, and you always meet a few of your little friends, and that sets me up for the day. So dogs give me joy, just without doubt. Sitting at home, the ritual of on the couch with wine, just me and Jane and the cat watching Netflix. As I said, and someone says we're in town. Oh fuck! I'm ill. Creating stuff, having an idea. That always excites me, and then planning it and fucking planning. Planning's out the window, isn't it? Achieving something, having one idea, writing one joke, coming up with a title for something. Just achieving something. And that can be anything. That doesn't need to be a concept for a movie. That can be tidying your fucking house up. Just achieving something, you know what I mean? I hate it when I've waited for something to happen and couldn't do anything, and then you realise you've wasted the day. That really... Going for a run. I went to the gym today. It didn't feel like it, but I thought, it'll annoy me, so I went. More and more doing something with my money, charity work, doing something, seeing it make a difference. I think that's why you should give to small charities as well, because you see the difference. It means something to them, and you see results. And I give to big charities as well, but it sort of gets lost. Like even the admin costs. Whereas if you know a local charity and they're a small sort of concern, that pound, the whole pound, goes to helping the cats and dogs or kids or whatever. So that I like that. That's good. I feel like I've done some of that. Peace and quiet. I love peace and quiet now. For about a minute, then I get bored. I might have some condition. I want to do whatever I'm not doing, unless it's someone else's idea. Then I want you to carry on doing what I was doing. Oh God. This is like a therapy session, isn't it? You are my therapists. and you're not qualified. I hope this is good for you as well. I don't just do it for me. Louise, if you were working in a cracker factory, I assume, in charge of the little jokes, that wouldn't be good, would it? What's the kind of material you'd put in there for a family Christmas dinner? It would be tempting, wouldn't it? It would be immediately tempting to put in the ones that Kev did for Derek. I don't know if I can repeat them, but yeah. Or wisdom that meant nothing. Like, that fake Zen nonsense. Or don't be a twat. That would be a little fortune cookie. Don't be a twat. Wouldn't it be great if it was really specific? Do you know what I mean? Like they opened it and it went, Sandra, everyone here fucking hates you. She'd go, what? The chances are you might get the name right. That'd be amazing. Do that for your family things. Put people's names in. Type it so they go, okay now. Gerald, stop being a fucking stingy twat. Get your nephews better presents next time, you tosser. Be really specific. Oh, God. Right, one last question. Ricky, you're in a life and death situation, of course. This is Boy Wonder. You've been captured by rogue scientists. Oh, this is going to end up good, isn't it? You have the choice of having 20 penises surgically attached to your face and head, right? Okay. Well, it's the next one, isn't it? Whatever the next one is. Or 20 eyeballs. What do you choose? This is life or death, so please choose now. Well, neither of them are great, but I'm not going to have 20 knobs on my face. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Oh. Because also, where they get that's other people's knobs, isn't it? That is a knob. That is... No. Definitely. The eyeballs aren't fucking great, but I'm not going to have... Also, are they functioning? Have I just got knobs off on my face? Can I see at the eyes? That would be confusing as well, wouldn't it? Because I haven't got the right brain for it. I'm not a fly. So I'd have... whatever the scenario, it's the eyes. Whether they're useful or not. 20 eyeballs just hanging off. Or are they like that? Like, just like they looking out. Like a spider. I'm not going to have... It's the eyes. Give me the eyes. Who would choose knobs? Someone somewhere would choose knobs over eyeballs. But I don't know I don't know if that person would ever exist. Or admit it. Right. I mean, that was a load of... Say bollocks, it was a load of... Thanks for your questions. Thanks for your questions for the Sam Harris podcast as well. I've mentioned a few of you actually. Some of the questions have got through, amazingly. We nearly finished recording the third series. That's what you can do for me. That's what I want for Christmas. Everyone download the first 2 seasons of Absolutely Mental. Go to absolutelymental.com and you can gift a friend. You might see, get them listening. 20, what is it? I don't know. 20 hours? I don't know. But it's good. And more it's sort of self-help and advice and fun and science. So do that. Right. Have a good time. Tatty bye, everyone. Be nice to animals. Tatty bye.